Nexxlegacy.
Fenty Beauty by Rihanna was created with the promise of inclusion for everyone, with an unmatched offering of shades and colors for all skin tones. You'll never look elsewhere for your beauty staples. Danaya Azure Radio is now sponsored by Fenty Beauty. Browse their foundation line, lip colors, and so much more. All you have to do is go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. And click on the link that says Nexxlegacy Fenty.
Nexxlegacy.
And
Hi, this is Andre Ferguson, and you're now tuned in to Danaya Azure Radio.
hello, Andre. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, how are you, Danaya?
I am good. So shout out to the fabulous Barbara Jones for the introduction. So I'm going to work with the phenomenal Sava Chavez of here in our agency, and she told me about all the work that you're doing with your film. So kind of let's talk about like what your film is about and how it came to be.
So the film 33 Black Frog is a documentary of my father, who served in the United States Navy back in the 1960s, but it's also his, entire life story. So going back to the era when he grew up as a young man in Fort Myers, Florida during the Jim Crow era. And then it's sort of guides you all the way through him joining the United States Navy and then reaching one of his American dreams of becoming the United States Navy SEAL Frogman, also known as UDT SEALs.
Okay. Definitely. So when it comes down to, well, first of all, what inspired you to want to create this documentary?
This is my father came up one weekend and we were sitting around with one of my friends and we were talking about the Navy SEALs, which is one of the most elite military forces on the planet, right? And he was talking about his time when he served, and the actual first African American Navy SEAL was inducted into the African Arts Museum, in which my dad served with him. But they also had him as one of the first. Had him as the first Navy first skydiver on the Navy skydiving team. And I was like, wait a minute, Dad, I thought you were the first African American skydiver. He was like, I was, but don't worry about it. I was like, no, we need to get that right. And he was like, no, it's fine. And I said, well, why don't we do that documentary I've been talking to you about for about 20 years now? So it's been very difficult and tough to document a person of his caliber because, in the Navy UDT SEAL program, it's like a fraternity, right? And it's a creed that they hold and they kind of keep things secret. So they don't talk a lot about the missions and what they do. And so while I did try to do a documentary on him about 20 years ago, when this issue came about, he was willing to do the documentary in which I could point out that he was the first African-American skydiver on the Navy skydiving team. I know that was a long road there, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
No. So when it came down to having those first conversations about what happened, what did it feel like to know what really happened back then?
So him being my father, of course, there's some heartfelt, and emotions that stirred in me, wanting to make sure that the truth was corrected. But it was, even when we started the documentary, he called me about 5 a.m. and said, "Oh, I don't want to do it, because whatever happened to me there, or whatever they say or whatever, it doesn't really matter." And but it mattered to me, right? And so I still kind of pushed him into talking about his time and service there and the things that he accomplished. But I also reminded him that he's a father, a son, a brother. His life is just not all about being a frogman in the United States Navy. So I wanted to talk about some of those stories of him growing up during the Jim Crow era.
Definitely, definitely. What does it feel like to know that your father is a part of some incredible history?
To me, like you said, incredible. It is incredible to him. He's a guy that, when we first started, he was like, "Man, I don't know about doing this. I don't want to toot my own horn. I'm not that type of guy." He's real low key, humble. Served the military, followed the creed, of the Navy SEALs, UDT, and he's just not a person that that wants to be talked up, right? So I myself am very happy to get his story out, because I think that his story can help inspire others, throughout our future generation. Just seeing the resilience and perseverance that he had to become one of the most elite fighting force, I say, on the planet. So I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the story that we were able to tell. This is not going to be a documentary about, he jumped out of a plane, went in and killed Osama bin Laden, all this type of stuff, right? But that these people are capable of doing that type of thing. So just knowing that he has those capabilities, and no fear, courageous, I'm very proud of him and his story.
So what were some of the challenges that you've had to overcome in creating this documentary?
I think the biggest challenge is, or continues to be, interviewing him. Interviewing him is very difficult, because he has to think before he speaks to make sure he honors the creed of the SEALs and UDT, and but still try to provide me with information that may be useful, to the viewing audience, that may be inspiring to, help them solve whatever difficult problems they may have in life.
Definitely, definitely. So you recently premiered your film. What was that like?
Yeah, so the first premiere was at the AFI Theater in Silver Spring, Maryland, and man, it was it was breathtaking. Just seeing something that you worked on. I've been working on this documentary for over 5 years, collecting historical photos and video, and doing research at the National Archives to make sure that the story is authentic, right? And then to see it come up on the big screen and see the emotions of people reacting to what they're hearing and seeing on the screen, and listening to the score, because my background is in the entertainment industry, so I was a music producer, more than film producer, at one time. But I brought all that experience to film, and I produced this with the guys that I produced music with, 301 MG. and just seeing how the music and the film, brought the emotion to the people in the audience. It was fantastic.
What was one of the main things that you kept hearing when you got feedback regarding the film?
Yeah. So the big feedback from the film, I think the message that everybody received from the film was, don't give up, never quit. So anything that you put your mind to and that means something to you, that you hold dear to you, that you want to accomplish, you should never quit. Right.
Definitely. And I think that's what people forget is that when your heart is in it, just keep going.
Yes,
because you're gonna find a way for sure.
That's right. And there was a lot of roadblocks during this process of creating a film also where but I had to get it done. And that's the one thing that my father speaks about in the film, right? He was presented a challenge. The challenge was probably more than he could handle. Like you said, he's not saying that he would die. He would have to die, but he had to get it done, right? So so you just never stop, don't quit, and you'll get it done. Just have faith in what you're doing.
What was one of your most memorable moments when you were filming this documentary?
My most memorable moment, I would say, I didn't know that the Navy's UDT SEALs honor their fellow comrades who pass away by having a swim out. So I'll just say a frogman. When a frogman passes away, they're known as a frogman, right? So SEALs, UDT, frogmen, right? So when a frogman passes away, retired Navy SEALs, they have a ceremony down in Fort Pierce, Florida, where they swim out the ashes of the frogman to honor their life. Yeah, so that was very emotional for me because one of the frogmen that they swam the ashes out, he was a friend of my dad's, and he was a very kind person who was very good friends with my dad and a good person to me growing up in my youth.
What do you think is one of the biggest misconceptions about the Navy that you were able to help clear up during this film?
Misconceptions. What this film will do is give you a brief education on race and the military and how the military was desegregated and the truth of why the military was desegregated. And those were some of the very surprising information that I was able to uncover.
Yeah, that is a good question. Because I know what happened when it came to, because we talked about the fact of Red Tails, which was the story of the Tuskegee Airmen and, right, and how they were able to break the barriers. So what do you think was the moment that made people think maybe we do need Black folks in this arena and to treat them properly because they're doing really, really well and they're helping us, to kind of helping us to keep our people alive?
Yeah. So it's all about politics. It doesn't matter how many planes they shoot down. It's about winning votes, right? So desegregating the military brought favor on whatever political party was in place at that time. So by desegregating the military, they were able to get more African Americans to get political votes.
Oh, darn it. Wasn't that an actual merit? You would help. Let's You would hope that it would have been okay.
I wish I could. No. I wish, unfortunately, that's what it was, right? Now we know it was crazy. It was very expensive to fund a black and a white military, right? So you had, even the blood was separated. If you went to Red Cross, you could, yeah, black blood, yeah, white blood, white forks, what black spoons, and it was, the white people, they had to set up their own latrine and black people their own latrine. So it got, it was crazy. It was unbelievable. So some of those things were, what do I want to say? Some of those things were, some good things were accomplished by desegregating the military, but it wasn't about, bringing everybody together. It was more about winning the White House than
right.
Right.
And what's more cost effective?
It didn't matter. Now, once they desegregated the military, it was cost effective, but that wasn't the reason, right, why they desegregated the military. They didn't care. They were going to spend the extra money to not have a white person use black blood, if they're injured, or have white tents and black tents and white utensils and black utensils and white dining halls and black dining halls. It didn't matter then because of discrimination, racism, things of that sort that were practiced during that time.
What is the best piece of advice that your father gave you?
Man, he has a lot of sayings. I think a big one for me is smile in the face of adversity. So there'll always be challenges that come before you. You just face those challenges. Be a joyful warrior, right? And just persevere and smile in the face of adversity and get through that conflict and be ready to solve the next conflict.
Most definitely, and I think that's so important, especially now, because we're going into it. Yeah. So, was there any advice that your dad gave you regarding dealing with people from the Jim Crow era?
I don't think there was any advice, but one thing I did learn after interviewing him was that where they thought they were segregating black people away from white people, that it was a good thing for, I guess, white people. Well, in his mind, or just from talking with him, he felt that black people were insulated, from racism because it was a segregated town, right, that they grew up in. So, they had their own cleaners, they had their own shoe store, they had their own grocery store, they had their own barber shop. They didn't have to go on the other side of the tracks. As a matter of fact, he didn't see a white person until he went to get recruited for the military. So he really didn't have to deal with racism until they got their first television.
Really?
Right. So when he got his first television, that's when he saw news where, black people were being hung and, killed, and KKK and things of that sort.
See, it's very interesting how it literally was out of sight, out of mind.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. So, he actually experienced racial issues when he joined the military. That's when now he's on a ship with 500 white yeah. So
that's awesome. So after going through this entire process, what advice do you have to give to young filmmakers?
So young filmmakers, what I think they should do is it's hard for completing a film. You never think it's ready. So I've had filmmakers come up to me during screenings and, kind of ask me, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? What do you advise? And my advice is, if you have an idea and you have a thought and you have a good idea of, a project you want to do, don't feel like you have to, come up with $1 million and do all that. Just go do it. Go do it. Just go shoot it. Make the mistakes, fix the mistakes. The more you get out there and shoot, the more you interview people, the more you experience filmmaking, from do everything, do the filming, do the editing, do the coloring. Don't get stuck and think that you need other people to do everything for you. You just go out and do it, study, research, and try again. Just try to get better each time you go and approach filmmaking from a videographer perspective to producing or directing. Just do it. That's the best advice I got.
I love it. No, just do it. Absolutely. Because I think a lot of people don't understand that the power is literally in their hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the way you tell a story. It's the emotion you put behind it, especially when it comes to documentaries. It's
right.
It's about making sure that you're accurate.
Right.
In what you're saying, making sure that you care about the people that you're talking about so that you can show the emotion.
Right. So what I would advise them for is first of all, kind of study, research what you're getting ready to get into, find out, what the standard is, because if you're trying to get your film on a certain type of platform, then you need to know what their standard is. Right. And so once you understand what their standard is, then you apply that to what you're doing. Right. Even telling a story, Hollywood has a way that they want a story told, so you're going to have to follow that format and just kind of plug and play your story into their format. Right. And I had to learn it the same way. I wanted to come a lot harder than I came, but, I knew there was a certain way to tell a story. And, I had to, I wanted, all audiences to be able to enjoy the film and learn something from the film. So, to do that, you're going to have to put your story into a certain format. I mean, the most common is everyone talks about is the hero story, right? So, the hero lives in this world and then he goes on his journey and he runs into a problem or conflict, and he has many solutions to that conflict. And then he has the solution, right? And so, if that's the format they're looking for, that's the one you got to put it in.
Absolutely. So what's next for this film and where can people find it right now?
Okay. The film's currently playing on Amazon Prime. So you can search 33 Black Frog and pull it up on Amazon Prime. It's also, you can also get it on YouTube Stash Military Channel. And the next project, I have 2 projects on the burner. I'm working on the script to turn this documentary into a feature film.
Nice.
I'm getting close. So I've been writing very diligently to try and finish that up soon. And then I have another film called The Pitch, which is, if you wanted to think of what type of film it was, it's like, I don't know if you've seen Friday Night Lights. It was like a football film back in the day, but the pitch is a soccer film, and it depicts
nice. Okay.
It depicts a coach and immigrants who migrate from Honduras, El Salvador, countries from Central America. They smuggled themselves into the United States during the Obama years, during the and then they come to this English as second language high school, along with MS-13 gang members who are trying to recruit them to be an MS-13. But the coach has to manage them to try to keep them out of trouble and win soccer games.
That's going to be powerful.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I can't wait to do that. Yeah, that's going to be very nice.
And the crazy thing about that is that is such a realization for so many kids right now. Whether to be a part of the music scene or be a part of the gang scene, be a part of the music scene or be a part of the gang scene. And it's like, and the things that a lot of them don't understand, that only one of those options has a future.
That's right. I don't want to tell you the movie, but a lot of times the gang members, they work from, because of technology, they're able to work from Central America through the United States and work out their devious plans or whatever. And, it's that this is a lot of this is based off of true stories, right? And so during the Dream Act, they released a lot of, they actually did release people from jail. I know we hear Trump say, but they actually did release a lot of juveniles from jail who smuggled into the United States. And when they come to our high schools in the United States, there's no background check, right? So they get into the high school and they end up being MS-13 recruiters who go after kids to do their deeds. So that's happening.
Yes. So
that's a reality.
So you got to educate your kids and make sure they understand
Absolutely.
the power that they have, and that they don't have to go down that route because there are so many other options for them.
Right. And in the story, that's the coach's job is to like manage all of that. Right. He's trying to manage keeping them away from the MS-13 recruiters, and he's trying to manage giving them life skills, right? Something they can use once they graduate from high school.
Yes.
No. Yep. Don't want to give you too much. Yep. But that's it.
I love it. That's going to be super powerful for sure. So when everything is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
Right now I just want to, produce films that can help, you. I'm a guy that's solution driven. So I like to, come up with strategies and plans to help you solve difficult problems in life. So that's what I'm trying to bring to my films, right? Real life situations and just ways to problem solve and resolve conflict, in your life, or difficult problems that you may be trying to solve. And I'm trying to do that through filmmaking.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So go ahead and give your shout outs, please.
Oh, wow. Okay. Shout out to my amazing musicians, 301MG, 301 Media Group. That's Nate McFall, Steve Mitchell, Dale Mitchell, Tolbert Collins, Andre Johnson, Thomas Crossan. And I hope I didn't miss anybody, because I have before. And shout out to Mom and Dad just for allowing me to tap into their life history and display it on the screen. Shout out to Nick. He knows who he is. The person who God put in place for me to help me get distribution for this film. And everybody else that's contributed to the success of making the film. And shout out to you and Seba. Where is she at? Seba. Oh, no. Seba. Yeah.
She is here. Listen, definitely shout out to Seba Chavez, the PR&S agency, and shout out to phenomenal Miss Owner of Reservation 70C, Miss Barbara Jones, with the connection.
Oh, definitely. Hey, Barbara Jones, that's my girl. Definitely shout out to Barbara Jones. She was here from the beginning when I first started this documentary. I've been working with her and Curtis Blow. Shout out to Curtis Blow for getting involved during the early part of this documentary and just being there for support. And Barbara Jones, that's my girl right there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, and most importantly, book you.
Yeah, so if you can just go to 33blackfrog.com. All my information is there, email, phone number, whatever, call me. I'm accessible. I'm not trying to, you can just email or call me. I'm just a regular guy, and feel free to call me anytime.
Absolutely. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone who is listening to Danaya Azure Radio and Nexxlegacy. We appreciate each and every one of you. Please have a phenomenal time with family and friends and continue to express what makes you unique.
Amen. Thank you, Danya. I appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely. No problem.
Black boy, black man, different struggle, the same dance. Growing up, getting knocked down. Black king, but no crown. Black issues, black problems, black situations, no solving. No justice and no peace. Black bloodshed running in these black streets. Black business, black schools, black laws, black rules. Good cops, clean arrest. Bad cops, 7 bullets in his flesh. Black love, black pride. Black fall, now blacks rise. Black bald, there's no work. Black pen, our black earth. Black sales, black worth. Black eyes, black lies. Black skies, black ties. And black rights, and black vibes. This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. Black allegiance, black flags, black mothers, black dads, black churches, black estates, black community building, erasing all black hate, black footprints, black excellence, black inventions, the reason some tech is relevant, black scholars, black dollars, black dreams like Martin, we need to go and follow. Black and bold, blacks in control, blacks in fashion, blacks clothes, blacks mining, black gold, black entertainment, black shows, blacks passion, black action, blacks love, black satisfaction, black wealth, black health, blacks dealing with the cards in their hands we were dealt, black streams, now black titles, black ownership, no black rivals, black teams, black owned, blacks creating a a vision that when they come they own. This a dedication for people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying our positivity and black pride. Pride.
I need for you to look deep inside the black pupils that so comely reside within the inner rings of black kings and queens' eyes. Witness the utmost core of existence betwixt black space, thus a star lies. Pure passion and determination, we shot ourselves through the vast, only to land on a planet filled with hatred. Went from thick holy robes to soul naked, convinced to act as everything that's unsacred. Awaiting the awakening, it's happening. Now this piece is all for the taking. And listen, trumpets blowing, wind is whistling. Can't you hear it? It sends the shaitan's bones to trembling, saying, get yours, baby bro, get yours. Get yours, little sis, get yours.
This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. This a dedication to people we know and love. No disrespect to others, but this right here is for us. We often see the media showing a different side, but never displaying positivity and black pride. Black allegiance, black flags, black mothers, black dads, black churches, black estates, black community building, erasing all black hate, black footprints, black excellence, black inventions, the reason some tech is relevant, black scholars, black dollars, black dreams like Martin, we need to go and follow.
Nexxlegacy.
Are you searching for the perfect gift? Or do you just need a unique statement piece for yourself? Well, either way, Danaya Azure help you out. What you need is the S for S jewelry collection by Danaya Designs for You. S for S stands for strictly for a stage. Stand out at your next photo or video shoot. Snag that magazine cover. Go from being a part-time extra to an actor or actress who stays booked. Or just be the talk of the town at every event. Danaya Designs for You jewelry is handcrafted and Chicago made for men, women, and children. To start your collection, simply go to www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com. That's www.danayaazure.com.
Nexxlegacy.